What is going on, everybody? It's Weather with Jonathan here, and I am back with another weather forecast like I said I would. Now, in this video, we are going to be talking about lots of things. We're just going to be going over the weather, though, for pretty much the entire US, maybe even a little bit of Canada, but mostly the US for today. We're going to be doing it how we always do now. So, we are going to be going all the way starting in the northwest. Then we're going to work our way south and east until we get to the East Coast. And then once we are all done with that, we will be done with the video. So starting off with the Pacific Northwest. So this is mainly Idaho, Washington, and Oregon. We are going to be getting some sun today, but it's going to be mainly in the 50s. Maybe in southeastern Idaho, you could be getting some snow showers. Maybe in northern Idaho too. Now, tomorrow morning around 4 p.m. or 4 a.m., we are going to be seeing rain moving into the southwestern Oregon area, and that snow will end up spreading all the way from the Sierras in California all the way up to the Cascades and near Mount Rainier in Washington. Now, this could last for a little bit because this will be an atmospheric river. And California, and Oregon, and Washington will be getting rain until about the end of this forecast. Now, we could get a small little break on the 16th, maybe around just more of the entire day, but then the rain will start up again in the morning of the 17th for Oregon, Washington, and California. And from this atmospheric river, we could expect lots of snowfall, especially in the mountains. Now, not so much snowfall up in the northern parts of Washington, especially near Mount Baker, that area. But Mount Rainier and down, we could get a lot of snow in the mountains. Sierras, you could expect anywhere from about 6 inches all the way up to about 48 inches of snow, especially in the Lake Tahoe area. Death Valley, you could expect a few snow showers potentially. I highly doubt it though. But it is possible. Then in the Cascades, actually, we could get anywhere from about, let's see, about maybe four-ish inches of snow, anywhere to about 2 feet of snow, aka 24 inches of snow. And some of that snow may get down into the Portland metro area, maybe a few snow showers, but this is according to the GFS. We can't rule out this idea, but we're not sure it's going to happen yet. Now, in the mountains of Idaho and Montana, we could expect a lot of snow, especially near Yellowstone, that area. We could expect anywhere from about 6 inches all the way up to about 40-ish inches of snow. And in the extreme high elevations, we could expect almost 50 inches of snow. Now, in western Idaho, it's going to be the same story except a little bit less snowfall amounts. You could expect anywhere from about 6-ish inches of snow to about maybe around 2 feet of snow, maybe through 32 inches of snow, which is 2.5 feet of snow. So this will be a very, very interesting week of weather for the Pacific Northwest. Honestly, we could have lots of things happen. It could be, it could get kind of warm in the Central Valley of California. Then we could get up to 4 feet of snow in the mountains potentially. Then we could even get some snow in Portland, Oregon. And Yellowstone will be getting quite a bit of snow. Now we're going to work our way into the rain for this area. So for the Northwest and the West Coast, now this is till about the 21st actually. So this is a long way out, but we could expect, actually, this is till about the 19th, but we could expect, and also this includes snow. Um, Now, on the coast of California, we could expect anywhere from potentially up to 1 inch of rain to potentially maybe around 4-ish inches of rain. Maybe some isolated areas could get up to 5.5 inches, but we're not expecting an insane amount, but we could get a pretty good amount. Now, in the Willamette Valley, the Sierras, northern Washington, we could expect anywhere from about half an inch of rainish to about maybe 2 inches of rain at the most. So not a very big storm for the for Washington. Um, a decently big storm for more of southwestern Oregon, but not a very big storm for Washington and eastern Oregon. Especially in places like Seattle, you could only get up to about maybe a quarter of an inch of rain, maybe up to half an inch, but not much is expected for you guys. So now we are going to move on to the weather forecast for Arizona, Utah, Colorado, New Mexico, that area. So over the next few days, it'll be kind of quiet. We just had a little bit of snow go through Denver a few days ago. I think it was maybe about 2 days ago, something like that. But we could expect kind of warm and dry conditions. Um, Now on the 15th, it may get a little cloudy in Denver. And on the night of the 15th, Denver, you guys might get some snow showers. And then a system will move in and bring northern Utah, um, almost the entire state except for the southwestern part of Colorado, um, near the Four Corners region. You guys could get some snow showers, and this could bring a decent amount of snow potentially. Now, Arizona and New Mexico, you guys will be getting warm, and you guys will be staying dry, especially in New Mexico, until maybe about the 21st. A few rain showers in the northern part and central part of New Mexico, and then rain showers throughout pretty much the entire state of Arizona. But it'll be fairly quiet, and as you take a look at the snowfall here, the snowfall totals for Denver, it will be you could get potentially up to about, let's see here, maybe from about half an inch of snow in eastern Colorado and central Colorado. If you live on the flat part, you could get anywhere from half an inch of snow to possibly up to 3 inches at the most in some areas on the western side of Denver. Now, in the mountains, in some peaks, you could expect anywhere from 4 to maybe about 10 inches of snow, maybe a foot of snow at the most, especially in the northern peaks of Colorado. I'm not expecting a whole lot of snow from this, but in the mountains, you could get potentially up to a foot. Now, Arizona, New Mexico, you guys will barely get any snow over the next 10 days. Now, you guys also will get barely any rain. Now, take a look at these rainfall totals for New Mexico. At the most in a part of New Mexico, maybe a quarter of an inch in the northern part, but most of that is snow. Maybe some rain, but I doubt it. Now, it will start to get a little wet in the central part of Arizona and the northwestern part, especially, but not much rain is expected for you guys. Maybe about half an inch, maybe up to an inch if you live in northwestern Arizona. That is at the most, though. So now we're going to move on to the weather forecast for, let's see, about Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, and Iowa. So over the next couple of days, it should also be kind of quiet. It'll be cold. A system will move in through South Dakota, Minnesota, northern Iowa, northeastern Nebraska, and into the southern part of Wisconsin and northern Michigan. You guys could get some snow. Then the southern part of Iowa and the southeastern part of Nebraska, the northern part of Illinois. in the southern part of Michigan, and maybe even the northern tip of Missouri could get some rain. Now, I don't think there will be a whole lot of snowfall in this. Now, this weather event could bring a decent amount of snowfall to some areas. Now, this is a look at it, and actually, we could expect maybe in some isolated areas up to about maybe 6 inches in southern Wisconsin, central and southern Iowa, maybe up to 3 inches, anywhere from 1 to 3 inches, northwestern Iowa and northern Iowa, maybe up to about 6 inches, which is kind of unexpected, but it is possible. Then, from the entire part of southern South Dakota, you could get anywhere from about, let's see, about 4 inches of snow to about almost a foot of snow at the most. And then southern Minnesota, only about mainly 4 inches, 5 inches, not a whole lot. North Dakota, maybe a few snow showers. Central Illinois, maybe up to 5 inches. Northern Missouri, up to maybe about 2 inches. But and northeastern Nebraska could actually end up getting anywhere from 1 to maybe even like 6 inches, especially in the extreme northeastern tip, right around where this black dot is. So if you live there, be aware of snowfall. Now, northern Michigan, for the southern peninsula, for the central and northern southern peninsula, you could get anywhere from maybe about an inch to about 6 inches in some isolated areas, maybe 7 or 8 inches, especially where the little hand of the mitten, which since it kind of looks like a mitten, this part where this black circle is, you guys could get maybe up to 8 inches on the northern part of that circle where I put. Now on the upper peninsula, it'll be a lot different. Only about 1 to maybe 6 inches at the maximum. So most areas will only get about 3-4 inches, but some areas could get up to 6 inches, especially in the eastern part. Now we're gonna work our way down to Oklahoma, Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. Um, and it also might be very quiet. It should be pretty warm, but so central Arkansas, southern Louisiana, and southern Texas, you guys will be getting rain on the 16th. Now that rain will continue through eastern Texas, maybe even more of southern Texas, and it will carry into northern and southern Mississippi and Alabama, Nashville, and Kentucky. Now this rain will have some snow on the northern side for Ohio, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, and Maryland. What we will get to that part a little later. Now this rainstorm will expand, and this is on the 17th right now. This is not insanely far out, but we will get a lot of rain. We will be getting dumped on if you are in Atlanta, Georgia, Columbus, Georgia, Savannah, Georgia, Montgomery, Alabama, southern central Mississippi, New Orleans, Houston. You guys will be getting dumped on, especially Orange, Texas. Like anywhere in this black circle, you guys will be getting hammered on by rain. And maybe a little north of here, sorry, my circle was really bad, and this is more of an oval, a lumpy oval. But yeah, so this rain will carry through into southern Florida until about the morning of the 19th. Now, this could bring a lot of rain. Now, we are gonna look at the rainfall totals, and this can contain snow, but none of this precipitation will be snow because none of this it just will not snow. So now we're also kind of moving more into the southeastern U.S. Then we'll move into this area right here, and then the Northeast. But which this is kind of the Midwest. But basically, for southern Texas, you could expect anywhere from maybe about, let's see, about a quarter of an inch of rain to maybe about 2 inches of rain in some very isolated areas. Um, Same for Louisiana, exact same, half an inch to maybe about 2 inches near New Orleans. Mississippi, you could expect anywhere from about a quarter of an inch to about, um, let's see, about an inch and a half ish. Exact same for Alabama. Um, Georgia, you could expect anywhere from about a quarter of an inch to maybe 2 inches at the max in extreme southeastern Georgia. This will be a big rainfall event, though, for Florida. Most of Florida will get drenched in about a quarter of an inch of rain for southern Florida. And then if you go north anywhere beyond that, you will get either over half an inch to maybe about 3 inches, especially near Jacksonville, between the Panhandle and where you get to Central Florida. So this will be a big rainstorm. And South Carolina, you can expect the exact same uh, rainfall totals as Mississippi and Alabama, which is about a quarter of an inch to about maybe 1 inch, 1.5 inches in the southern part near Edisto Beach in Charleston, or yeah, Charleston. I think. Tell me if I pronounced that wrong, and if I did, I'm sorry. Um, North Carolina, pretty dry, maybe about a quarter of an inch to half an inch in some spots. Now, it, you might not even get any rain at all in central North Carolina, right here. So now we're gonna move on to the Midwest here. So basically, this is like Ohio, Indiana. Now, I know Kentucky and Tennessee aren't in the Midwest, but those are some of the states I didn't cover. So, but Ohio and Indiana are in the Midwest. They are considered. So it'll be pretty dry for Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky, and Tennessee. Northern Ohio, maybe a little bit of central Ohio and northern Indiana could get a few rain showers on the morning of the 15th. Not expecting a lot of rain. That rain will move in to um, the eastern Ohio border, northern West Virginia, and central Pennsylvania. And then it will start to turn to snow in northwestern Pennsylvania and much of New York. Long Island, I wouldn't expect a whole lot from this. I know you just got dumped on with snow. But for Kentucky and Tennessee, you guys will be fairly dry and warm. Now, you may get some rain around the 16th. That will linger until about maybe the morning of the 17th. But other than that, you guys will be pretty dry until maybe around the 20th. So now we are gonna end up looking at the Northeast, which has been very busy. So we could expect some snow in northwestern Pennsylvania, southwestern New York, and eastern New York, maybe also in Vermont, Massachusetts, maybe a tiny bit of Connecticut and southwestern Maine. And this pattern will keep on going. A system will come from the northwest, and then it'll be a really small system. Then it'll move across South Dakota, Iowa, Missouri, Illinois, and then Ohio, Indiana, and Illinois will get snow, and then the Northeast will end up getting snow. And actually, New York City could expect some snow from this, and a few nor'easters may happen um, as we head into the early spring um, from this setup. So it should be pretty cold for much of the Northeast over the next couple of days, especially in the northern parts of the Northeast, like New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. You guys should get pretty cold. Now, we are going to look at snowfall totals from this. Now, this is on the 22nd. This is way out, but let's go back to the 18th. So for Central Ohio, maybe about 2 inches. Now let's see. Pennsylvania, you could expect maybe about 1 inch to maybe 4 or 5 inches, especially in the northern part and southern part. West Virginia, not a whole lot of snow, but in the northeastern part, you could expect maybe up to 6 inches in the mountains. Much of Maryland, much of actually northern Maryland, will be getting anywhere from 3 to about 6 inches of snow. Delaware, you guys could get anywhere from an inch to maybe about 4 or 5 inches of snow. New Jersey, much of you guys will get about 4, 5, 6 inches of snow, maybe even 7 or 8. Same for Long Island, you guys could get up to about another 7 inches of snow on top of what you guys already have very soon in the future. Now, near Buffalo, New York, that area, you guys could expect about 4 or 5 inches, not much, and I would not expect lake effect snow from this. Now, Albany, New York, that area, maybe 4 or 5 inches. Mountains in northern New York, however, you guys could get anywhere from about 7 to 8 inches of snow to about 14, 16 inches of snow in the really high elevations. Um, Now I would not expect any lake effect snow from this. Maybe a tiny bit in Buffalo, but I wouldn't expect a whole lot. Now Massachusetts, Connecticut, and Rhode Island. Most of you guys will probably end up getting about 6 inches of snow. Now, northern Massachusetts, you guys may only get about 3, 4 inches of snow, but you guys will still get a decent amount of snow. New Hampshire, the peaks of New Hampshire, you guys could get maybe about 8 inches of snow. Now, the inland, you could get about 4 inches of snow at the most, maybe a little spot of 5 here and there. Um, and then in the peaks of Vermont, you could get up to maybe a foot of snow in the higher elevations. And then much of you guys on the inland will probably end up getting about 5, 6 inches of snow. Now, western and southwestern Maine, you guys will get maybe about 2 to about potentially up to 4 inches of snow in some places. Now, southeastern Maine, you guys also could get about 2 to 4 inches, maybe 5 inches in some isolated areas. I would expect that. Now, northern and central Maine, this entire area right here, you guys are not going to be getting any snow. You could maybe get an inch at the maximum, but that's about it, ladies and gentlemen. Now, now, don't now. I'm just saying, you guys, don't get your hopes up yet. Just yet, not just yet for the snowstorm in the Northeast. So, for you people who live in the Northeast, I think you could get a. I think you have a pretty good chance of getting a lot of snow, but it depends. Don't get all your hopes up yet. Now, this is just 384 hours out, just casually. This is the end of February. Now, this just is a look at what could happen. Now, this is suggesting you guys in the Northeast could probably get a pretty good amount of snow activity. And guess what, Northern and Central Maine? I doubt this will happen, but in the span of maybe about 2 weeks, you guys could get up to about 2 feet of snow. Now, I wouldn't get your hopes up yet. This is very likely not going to happen. Now, this is just suggesting a lot of snow activity for the Northeast. Now, for the West, you guys could get some snow activity. Absolutely no activity for Central California, Southern California, Arizona, New Mexico in terms of snow. Now, on the other hand, Seattle, you guys might get a little bit of snow in the future. Now, the Willamette Valley, it is suggesting that maybe a little bit of snow might come to our area. and also I live in that area. I live in Portland, Oregon. So, yeah, I'll give you guys an update if this actually happens or not. But yeah, so this is just suggesting what could happen. I think this might be right. We could expect a lot of snow activity, especially in the mountains in the west. I think this is also right for the northeast. We could expect a lot of snow activity for the northeast. And then for Minnesota, South Dakota, Nebraska, and Iowa, I think this is also right because these systems will end up moving into the northwest around Portland, Oregon ish, Seattle, that area, in between that area about, I'd say. And it will move through the mountains. That's how they will get their snow. They will get dumped on. Then I think it's gonna end up the systems will move south a little bit through North Dakota, or sorry, South Dakota, my bad, and produce a little bit of snow each time they come through. And then I think they'll keep moving south, not producing a whole lot of snow as they get into Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio, maybe a little bit of snow. But then I think, sorry, hold on, I gotta erase a little bit of this. Then I think the systems could move here and then keep going straight from there. And I think the storms could spread out to up here, then maybe down to about here, then maybe down there, then to there, and then I think they might expand in size, and then dump a bunch of snow in the northeast. So that's how I think the storms will go. Will go. That's how the northern central part of the U.S. will get their snow, especially the Midwest, and the mountains in the west, and the mountains in the northeast, and the northeast in general. So that is all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. My voice is very scratchy, and it might not be the best because I am sick with a sore throat. But I am coming out with another weather video tonight. It will be a documentary about the March 31st tornado outbreak last year. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. Share this video with your family and friends, and please don't forget to like and consider subscribing. It would help me out a lot and the channel. And yeah, I'm also doing the documentary because I know you guys really love my last one. Bye.